Okay, so let's move on to chapter 3. Now we're doing 3.1 exponential functions. Okay, so obviously everything that you've done so far is to do with functions of some sort, whether it's part of the graph, whether it's the limits, whether it's the range or the domain. And basically what we're doing today, we're going to carry on that, but this time using exponents. So as you can see from the examples here, what happens when the function of x becomes the exponent. So either you're going to be using the exponents to sort of move up the number, whether or not it's going to be a fraction and you're going to cube root it, or whether it's going to be a negative one, which is going to be 1 over, and then you're going to use the exponent to expand out. Okay, so let's have a look at what we're doing with example 1. We're looking at what happens with the graph whenever you have a number that's got your exponential function to it. So as you can see from what they're doing here is they are putting extra numbers in. So 3 to the what, so you've got to work out what it is. So 3 to the -4, -2, -1, 0, 2, 4 and 6. And then eventually you can draw the graph. Okay, so make a reasonable table of values, which is what we've got here. The only ones we're really interested in is the domain, the range, the intercept. So the domain, range, the intercept, and don't forget whether it's increasing or decreasing, and the asymptotes. The limits and the end behavior we're not bothered about at all. Okay. Okay, so then what happens to it? Let's have a look at this number 1, x2 to the negative x. So let's do -2, -4, 0, 2, 4. Let's see what happens at those. Okay, so 2 to the -4 is 2 to the 4. Okay, so 2 to the 4 is going to give you 16. -2, 2 to the -2 is 2 squared, which is going to 2 squared to the 4th. Okay, 2 to the 0, anything to 0 is 1. Okay, 2 to the -2 is going to be 1 over 2 squared, which is going to be 4, and 1 over 16. Okay, so what happens to that sort of graph? Okay, so you're coming over here. We did say -4, it's going to be going in that general direction, something like that. So let's have a look at where we're going from. All right, the domain is from -infinity to +infinity. All right, the range is going to be, we're looking at 0. Okay, and that's going to go to infinity. Where does it intercept? Well, here's where it intercepts, look. So we've got the intercept at 1. Okay, and then the what's the only other thing? It's decreasing. Okay, so they're the only things that we need to know. Okay, so let's have a look at example 2. Now we've got an exponential with either an add or a subtract, etc., etc. Okay, well, if you've got 2 to the x plus 1, all that it's actually doing is you've got your 2 to whatever the x is, and it's moved 1 to the left. Don't forget you go the opposite direction of what happens to it. Okay, so x plus 1 is going to be moving to the left 1. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look at the first example. All right, we've got e to the 4x. Okay, all this is it's a function of 4x. Therefore, the graph is the graph compressed horizontally by a factor of 4. Okay, so in other words, it's getting very, very close to your y-axis.